experience is the experiment.
Today's guests hail from Los Angeles, California. They are a pop rock trio that fuse driving guitars, pounding drums, and unique storytelling. They've had a billboard in Times Square. They have a new tour, and they are now here to tell you all about it. Please welcome today's guests, Senses. I can't say guests well.
Guest senses. And then you have to say senses. Guest senses.
Senses. It's a tongue twister.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming. Welcome.
Yeah.
So, real fast before we start, can everybody just give a little intro of who you are, what you play, what you do for this band and for the world?
For the world? Oh my God, the pressure. I'm Maddie. I sing, sometimes play guitar, and amongst general other things.
I'm Nick. I play drums.
I'm Josh. I play guitar and I sing sometimes, amongst general other things.
Oh yeah. And where are you guys all from?
Originally, I'm from Wisconsin, but I've lived here 11 years now.
I'm from Fresno.
Beautiful.
I grew up in Maine on a dairy farm.
I love it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's almost as Wisconsin as Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He's out Wisconsining me.
So how did you guys all kind of end up together? How did all those different places collide into what is now Senses?
Well, randomly enough, Josh and I found out after we met that we moved here on like the same weekend of the same year. Yeah. So that was kind of serendipitous.
That's crazy.
Spooky.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So yeah, it's our 11-year anniversary coming up next month.
Wow.
But yeah, I shot out a Craigslist ad. That's kind of the gist of it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I played solo around LA for a while and it was boring, and so I threw an ad out and Nick responded first.
Crazy thing was that it was about feet stuff.
Yeah.
But we all just happened to play music, so it
My
worked
ad's
out.
up there still too, then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I one of my references is Evanescence, which is like, Nick was like, sold.
Just sign me up.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And how long have you guys been together?
We've been together. I mean, we've known each other probably for 5 years or so. Yeah. And then this particular project, 3 years, 4 years?
Yeah. It was like right before COVID.
Right before COVID, we released our first single in late 2019.
So was it like a different, like kind of a solo project that turned into Senses? Was it a start? Like, did you guys start as a band?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it started until we were like searching for a name. We were kind of going under my name for a while, and then we had gone through we had a couple other members, and eventually it just kind of ended up being the three of us. And so we took that time to be like, okay, what do we really want our sound to be, and kind of honed it in that way. And we've been us three ever since, and we've been kind of growing our sound since that.
Killer.
Yeah.
Well, were you guys all doing things before? Because the live performance, I heard the music and I loved it, but I was like, is this a real good voice or is this one of those LA good voices? And I looked up your guys' performance and it's a fucking real good voice.
Thank you.
Very, very impressive. There's a lot of people who are really good at making music. There's not a lot of people who are really good at conveying it in person. So there was definitely years and years of practice pre being on that stage.
For sure. Yeah. Speaking for myself, I've been singing since I can remember. My mom was an amazing singer. All two of my sisters, all three of us, we always grew up singing, and I was in choirs and all kinds of stuff throughout high school. And so it was just always a part of my life. And I just decided to really go for it and see where it went. I started writing in high school, when I was 15. And then that just kind of took me off into the ether of music, and I just haven't really turned back since. But yeah, same with you guys. Probably started young.
Yeah. I started young. I grew up in a very religious family. I started with guitar because my dad, probably one of the best acoustic guitar players I know. He plays in youth group for church. So I started wanting to do guitar because I wanted to be like my dad, but then I hated guitar and I quit. And then a friend of mine was like, why don't you try drums? And I was like, okay. And then I just fell in love with that. And so I was like, all right, this is it. Yeah. And yeah.
Now you're here.
Now I'm here.
Fuck yeah. I started as 8. I had a drum set and a piano.
Hold it a little bit closer to you, the microphone.
Hello. Yeah, when I was like 8, I got like a drum set from my uncle, and was playing, and he was like, "You're gonna be a drummer one day because they're hard to find." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like doing piano lessons and stuff at the time, and then I realized how hard it was to like sing and play drums at the same time. So I was like, "Oh, let me just pivot." Started playing guitar, and
So you guys kind of switched.
Yeah, it's like we switched.
We
That is
switched.
funny, yeah.
That's unreal. The fact that you started playing guitar first is wild because you're fucking stupid on the drums.
Oh, thank you.
Like really good. And
Oh, appreciate it.
Jack Henry, who we were talking about earlier, who is our connection now between us and your manager, was saying the same thing. He was like, "You gotta hear this kid on drums." It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
thanks. Appreciate it.
Not only that, but he's so fun to watch. Like, he's
Yes.
always doing something where it's
Yeah.
like, I feel like a lot of times drummers can maybe feel like they're just behind something, so they don't really have to worry about like what they look like, or they like get in their own grooves. But like
Yeah.
this guy just fucking does crazy shit all that. Like, he's so fun to watch. Whereas
having a
like,
good time.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, kind of all three of it. Like, I feel like you always have like a focal point and something else to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the most technical like drummer, like and like when it comes to just like the lingo and all that stuff. But I just like to just get up and
He's got style.
I just like just to play the damn drums.
Yeah.
Like I just like it.
The issue is when you're too technical, you're thinking about how to play and not just being there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I know a lot of people that are, top level Berkeley drummers that are the greatest session drummers, and you put them on stage and they don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, and that's always kind of been a thing. It's like I appreciate that, but
Mm-hmm.
when I'm watching drummers, like I want to see you move. I want to see like
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
see
Flair.
I want
It's
to
like
see
a-
some shit.
You're
Yeah.
like there to entertain. Like you need to bring an entertainment
Yeah.
element
Absolutely.
to it,
And especially
For
for what
sure.
you guys are doing. If you guys were a jazz band, it'd be weird if you were flailing and having the best time.
Headbanging.
Yeah.
I probably still would be, to be honest. I don't think I
I
can
would be
control
impressed if I saw that though. I'd be like, he's really just playing jazz drums and headbanging.
Hey, if you're out there, jazz flailer, let us know. It's definitely it's fun to watch people have fun on stage. That's why I fucking absolutely adore this universe of music. Is like
Yep.
to continue with this, you have to be in love with it, or else it's a really shitty life. Because the highs, yes, they're high, but they come with a ridiculous amount of really low lows that are necessary, I think, as a musician, as a writer, as somebody who's trying to convey emotion, so other people maybe can have a little pillow when they're going through it, or don't have to go through it. They can kind of sway through the ebbs and flows.
And they're quick too. Like the highs and lows. Like you could be having like the highest of high, and then like boom, next thing you know, it's like, oh, I'm not working. I don't have a gig.
Yeah.
It's like that ended quickly.
Yeah, and I just bought a new drum set last week, and
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna have a gig this week.
And now I don't.
Yeah.
Now I need to sell that drum kit. Like,
Right.
yeah.
But I think that's like the type of, if this was too easy, there would be no reason to want to convey anything. Like what lessons do you have to teach if you never had to learn lessons yourself?
Yeah, true.
Makes
True.
it boring.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, you
takes
gotta
the
have
punk-
something to say, right?
Yeah, it takes the punk out of punk rock.
Yeah.
You gotta have the craziness, which again fits your guys' music. The enjoying it is like half of the experience.
Yes.
You don't have to see that obviously through listening to a stream. Mm-hmm. But if you want people to go to show and show and show, they have to feel like they're about to get a fucking movie, an experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best.
And it's like those thoughts too. It's like sometimes when we play shows, it's just I think before like going out, I'm like, dang, I was like, these people paid money to see us or see a bill of bands. Like we got to give it to them. Like you know what I mean? It's like it's one thing to go up and play the songs, but it's like give them their money's worth. Like make
Absolutely.
them like make it worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, make them
True.
drink so much that they wake up naked the next day,
Exactly. On the
Exactly.
front lawn, confused.
as they should.
I feel like also like where some people like fuck up, it's like maybe only 10 people came to a certain show, right? And it's still your responsibility to play like that room's full, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or else you're not going to push anywhere in your career
You
either.
don't know who those 10 people are.
Exactly.
Exactly.
100%.
Like those could become 10 diehard fans
Exactly.
that will always like, post your shit or talk about you
Yeah.
or like share like to their like Instagram or whatever. Like that's awesome.
One of my most fun shows that we've played, there was like, it was one of our first shows, and there was like not a ton of people there, but I was having a blast. Like that was one of the funnest, the one Black Rose show. Like I had so much fun at
yeah.
that show,
Oh
That was a great show.
and there wasn't a ton of
Yeah.
people there, but like you just at some point say fuck it, like it doesn't really matter. You just have to give it your all and do the same show that you would have if it was packed.
Absolutely.
Those ones are fun because it's like when you're waiting to go on and you see like, oh, like the room's really like it's not as full as you'd like, but it's like there's kind of like, okay, well now there's like low pressure. Let's just go have fun. Like we always like say like full send.
Yeah,
like
I was
full
just gonna
send.
say that. It's like our ritual before we
Full
go
send.
out.
You got to cut your teeth. Like,
Yeah.
The reason I started this is because I fell in love with podcasts through comedians. And
yeah.
I didn't see any music podcasts where it was people just willing to fuck up, you know? And that's what I love about comedians is they know they're going to fail so many times until the right people see them and then start coming to their shows. And we in this industry, we need to get better at that. You got to be able to cut your teeth and not feel like you have to be a rock star on day one. That's something you build towards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Were you guys playing with bands, like playing live pre-census?
Yeah, we did. We played a couple. We played a few shows. And I mean, honestly, even as Senses, like when we released our first single and then COVID happened, I think collectively 2021, like as people were kind of starting to get out of that, was a weird year for us. Like we didn't really do much. We had just released 4 singles and we couldn't play them anywhere. And it was just this lull. And then we had like one dinner with our manager and he was like, yeah, I'll manage you guys. And it just like changed everything. It was like all of a sudden we just had this path and like,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was definitely like exactly what you're saying. Like you have to cut your teeth, and like we've definitely cut our teeth for a while.
Yeah.
And it's I feel like you never don't have to do that. You know, you
100%.
always have to.
But that mentality is not something that's built in. That's something you have to learn.
Right.
And there's so many people who think they are done cutting their teeth, and then they go down and they go down. Then they either have to make their way back up or they're too proud to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
100%.
if you love this enough, you should want to be better the next day and the next day and the next day. And that
100%.
feeling will never end. There's always going to be some kid coming up who's better.
Yeah.
Look out for them. Let them be fucking fuel so you
Yeah.
can
Oh, yeah.
further that every day.
I only want to be in like a room full of people that are better than like myself or us.
Yeah.
Like I love that.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
There's literally, I don't think there's any other way to get better after a certain point. Like you can go watch YouTube all you want, but is YouTube going to give you the fucking drive from being in a room with a bunch of killers and watching some dude drum and you're sitting there going, oh, should I go up? Should I go jam with them? Whatever. And then the next time you come in, you're fucking ready because you don't want that feeling again.
Yeah.
And then it's going to happen again and again. And eventually you'll be in the room with a flailing jazz player
Yes,
and you'll want to
exactly.
flail next to them.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's a fun world to be able to always find a room that pushes you to feel like you need to be better, not just
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah.
That feeling's necessary. It really ends up driving. It drives you to put in that little extra work. When that feeling, like you were saying, like if you feel like you didn't do what you could have done, I don't think there's any other feeling that'll allow you to push through whatever boundaries are keeping you where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Very true.
And LA is like a great place for that too. I think like so many people come out here from wherever they used to live and shit, and it's just like it's so easy to just get caught up in the whole like, oh shit, everybody out here is actually pretty good at shit.
Absolutely.
And then you have to like really step it up to like even make any noise in this town. So
Everybody was the best in their hometown.
exactly.
before.
Right.
Do you guys do anything, like do you have anything that you use to kind of replenish the creativity, like something outside of music that, whether it's working out or fishing or fucking jumping out of planes, whatever it is?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I like the beach. The beach is like my favorite place.
I did mushrooms there yesterday.
Oh
Hell
man,
yeah. How was
That'll
that?
do.
How was that?
Phenomenal.
Amazing.
It's always phenomenal.
You know, I have yet to have like a amazing time like on mushrooms. Like I've done it a couple times, but I'm like I have yet to have like one where I was like, wow, that was amazing. I think I've
Really?
just been
I've had a
around
good
the
amount,
wrong
for
group
sure.
of people
That'll do it.
every time.
Yeah.
That's like half of it right there.
Yeah.
The group.
One
whole vibe.
time, speaking of like doing it at the beach, we were in Mexico, and my friend, we were in the ocean, and like we were all like at the bottom, like at the sand, like everything looked like a kaleidoscope, and we we're
Oh,
just
no.
like all just so happy. All of a sudden, I see my friend like just skyrocket to the surface. I'm like, uh oh. So I go up, and he goes, I think I got stung by a jellyfish.
Oh no!
This is on mushrooms
Yes.
in Mexico.
In Mexico. So we all like
Horrible.
just go to the shore, and sure enough, he has just like the biggest, just like line, like jellyfish sting.
Oh,
And we're
no.
just instantly, we all were just like brought right back.
Yeah.
That's got to be the wildest feeling to get stung by a jellyfish on mushrooms.
Yeah.
But it was like
Oh
it
my
was like
God.
I don't know.
I can't imagine.
yeah,
It was
Shit,
a serious
is that there?
self-doubt.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah,
So-
you definitely have to have like the right situation. But then sometimes doing them in context to your daily normal life is nice too, because the dude at work who's an asshole, maybe you can find some compassion. Or the person who cuts you off on your way to work on the 101, now you realize maybe they just have to go bathroom or whatever it is. They're
Yeah.
having
Or
a tough
you're on the
time.
I always
405
say
the
they're
whole
late for a
time.
meeting.
Yeah.
Anytime someone's a dick on the highway or zooms past or is just being shitty, I'm always like, they're late for a meeting.
At the end of the day, what are you going to chase them down?
Right.
Why not have a little cushion for
maybe.
your brain?
Yeah.
I guess if they're that big of an asshole, chase them the fuck down.
Yeah.
Depends on how much time I got. You know?
Absolutely.
I'm kidding.
What do you guys do for release?
I mean, last year I did a bunch of hiking. I like went and did like all like the
yeah.
tallest peaks in
do
Southern
like hiking.
California.
Yeah, he really
like,
does.
Wow. He's always trying to get us to go
He
on these
almost
hikes.
Yeah.
threatens us to go hiking.
Like not
Yeah.
like Runyon or like like not like
No,
you know,
it's like
Baldy.
Mount-
Like
literally Baldy.
Yeah, San
He's like-
Gorgonio.
He's like, we're
That's
going on
a
a
world.
6-hour
Yeah.
hike.
It's the
Like
best though. Like
13-hour hike.
you go out to the right places out
13
here.
hours.
You can find the most secluded areas that are like they're so close to the busiest city in the world, but yet so separate.
Yeah.
It's so nice. I go camping out in the Angeles at least once a week.
Oh, nice.
And it's
Wow.
my
Oh,
favorite
nice.
favorite thing in the
Wow.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And what are you guys working on currently? What's besides maybe this is a good segue besides the tour?
Oh,
gosh.
yeah. Well, definitely over the past few weeks, that's all we've been
Yeah.
working on. But in general, we recently kind of rounded out our EP. So we have the songs done to almost done, but definitely there, structured. The list is there. So yeah, we weren't expecting to get that done until after tour, I don't think, at least. But yeah, we had some moments come up and we were able to finish it. And yeah, that's kind of our main thing.
Yeah,
just did.
like we had a full plan. We were like, we're gonna do this EP. It's gonna come out way
Yeah.
later in the year. It's gonna be this full thing, and then like second week of January, we're like, it's done.
Yeah, it was crazy.
All right.
Wow, what a flip from how it normally goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's
100%.
amazing.
Yeah.
That makes it more fun too. Like why stress about something more than you have to?
Oh, for
Why
sure.
not make
100%.
if you can make something in the moment that feels true and beautiful and something you want to share with the world, I think that's probably
Yeah.
the healthiest relationship you can have to your music.
And also
Yeah.
don't sit on it. Like
Yeah.
like just write more songs. Like I feel like we live in a day and age now where it's like people like drop music whenever. Like and it's always singles and it's like, dude, just like I know people that are putting out music left and right. And it's just like just do it. Like
Well, if you plan on getting better for the rest of your life, then you probably should put your shit out before the next song comes. Like if you know
Right.
that your next one's going to be better, then just keep putting it out. It's always going to
Yeah.
be getting better. Why
Yeah,
chase your
I
tail
agree.
every single time?
Yeah.
I
Yep.
feel like some people sit on it for so long because they're going to make better music, but then at that point you're just holding yourself back and you don't have that ability to kind of move past it.
and you miss that window.
Yeah.
Of like just yeah.
And then you may be like super hard on yourself for that body of work that you already did that you
Yeah.
were proud of because now you're like, whoa, man, I could do it so much better. And then you're in this perpetual cycle of
Yeah.
like, should I edit it more? Should I change the mix again?
I feel like we had gotten caught up in that a couple times, and now we're just like so anti that. We're like, just put it out. Like
Yeah.
this is done. Yeah, because two of the songs we literally didn't even have last month.
Yeah.
We had the time, and two songs that because usually you write songs so fast and you're like, okay, like you write, let's see where it goes. Like maybe it fits, maybe it doesn't. But
Yeah.
we wrote these two songs in 2 weeks, and we're like, shit, we don't know which one we like more. Like they fit really well. And we really liked them, and so we're like, let's just get it out. Like fuck the plan. Like let's get them out sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does your guys' process look like? Is there somebody who's writing more? Is there somebody who's producing more or doing the instrumentation more? How does that working?
I think
It varies.
yeah,
Kinda
our
varies,
process
yeah.
kind of always changes, to be honest. I think in the past, it had been like I would bring some songs and like some lyrics that I had kind of done on my own, and then we would kind of rework them or make them into our songs. And then now it kind of has become like a majorly collaborative process. So like Josh will start with a guitar part, and then like I think a lot more recently too, like Nick's gotten really involved in like the melody and lyrics of it. So like we'll both kind of hum things out, or like sometimes we'll all three pass the mic around, hum things out until we find something we like.
A lot of takes
yeah,
that
just-
are like,
exactly.
those kind of top lines, and you're like,
Absolutely.
oh,
Yeah.
it's sort of got that energy we're looking for. Now, what kind of word
Then
might
you
that
go back
be?
and you start writing into
what does this
it.
feel like
Yeah.
in actual English? Yeah.
That seems like such a healthy band relationship, because I know a lot of people, and I've had bands on here that have kind of both sides of the scale, where you guys seem where anybody with the right idea has the right idea.
Yes.
Some bands I know where one person wrote so many of the songs that when somebody else has a legit good idea, it's kind of backwashed, which doesn't.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
met with kind of like a like okay, like
It's like
what
you
do
haven't
mean?
done this before.
Yeah,
Why are you
Right.
allowed to do
Why
it
you-
now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it could be the hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that like even when I will have an idea lyrically, I usually don't get it past even like a verse or even a couple lines, and I'll bring that to them and be like, because then I know right away like whether they're vibing off of it or they're not, and so we can be like, okay, you guys like this one, let's work on this, or like, okay, this doesn't really fit our shit, let's not work on it. So it's like
Yeah.
you kind of can read the room a little more in a sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
we.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we definitely have in the last couple of years like let go of like ego, take ego off the table. Whatever the best idea is, the best idea. You know, like we're all here for the same purpose, which is to just make good music.
But
You're supposed to enjoy this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's definitely like a learning experience though, like being able to let go of like a lot of people. It's natural, I feel like, when someone is like telling you an idea, it's natural for you to automatically in your head like be like, yes, I like it, no, I don't like it, before they even finish telling you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's definitely a learning experience to just be like, okay, I'm going to hear you out completely. We're gonna try the idea, and let's give it like the due diligence, and then be like, okay, do we like this?
Yeah.
Do we not like
Yeah.
this? Versus being like, no, I just don't think that's a good idea. Because
Yeah.
then it's like, well, now
Right.
we're gonna fight.
Well, I feel like it's a process we had to learn. Like,
Yeah.
because then I would get in my head and I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, they're going to fucking hate this. So, like, I'm
Yeah.
not even going to bring it. And then I'll show, like, one of them one day and they'll be like, oh, I actually really like that. And I'm like, well, shit, I could have brought this to you 5 months ago. I'm just, you know,
Yeah.
in my head about it. So I feel like a lot recently, and we've branched out more, like, we used to write in house, or like I think in general I kind of write most of the lyrics, but it's always been something where even if I'm having a great idea and I'm like really into the lyrics, they still along the way will be like, yeah, rework that, or like I don't know if I love that. And it takes a long time to get to a place where I don't take it personally.
Totally.
Where I'm like, what do you mean? You fucking hate my writing?
Writing so personal.
What do you mean you
too,
don't like
so
that
it's
line?
easy to-
Yeah.
it's easy to
Or
get
where you
there.
can honestly be like, just hear me out, just give me another 20 minutes on this
Right.
idea and let me really see if this works. And I think there's a lot of smart people in the world who aren't loud enough to be heard. And therefore you don't get the best idea sometimes.
Yeah.
And being in a situation where obviously you all have your piece of the puzzle that is your piece. Like if you're the drummer, you're the guitar player, and singer, like having that is important, but also having that kind of cross-pollination that's how you
Yeah.
make a hit.
Yeah, and I think one thing to remember too, for like if you're in any sort of like collaborative like experience, is to like remember that everyone there is trying to get to the same destination, and like it's all like to make it good and better. It's not to like make anyone look bad or feel stupid. It's just like everyone's there to like make you look like, make everyone look good and like make something that's great. So it's definitely something to like check yourself in those moments when it's like, okay, I know they're not trying to like, you know, ruin the song. I know they're like, so it's like, okay.
And I think it takes the pressure off too, because like, say you're laying down drums, and we're like, hey, what if you do? We always joke because we speak to him in drum, and it makes no fucking sense. We're like, we're looking for more of like a ba-da-doo, baga-doo doogie dee boop ba, and he's like, what the fuck are you saying?
And I like yell at them from the drum kit. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think it takes pressure off, because like I'll know when I'm writing lyrics, like I know if something sticks out so bad, they're gonna be like, back up, or like if he's laying down drums, like we all care about our opinion enough to be like, all right, what do you guys think of this versus that? And even if I do something that I really like and they're both like, maybe not that, then I'll always at least, like, we've gotten to be like yes men, where like we'll always at least say yes and try it, and then if it, you know, always see the idea through.
Well, and that's important, having the option to stick with an idea that isn't yet ready
Yeah.
Yeah.
is sometimes necessary. Things need to brew. Things need to percolate.
Yes.
But sometimes it's a shit idea, and having the right people there to be like, yo, not it.
Yeah.
But like, love the sentiment. Appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, let's keep going. Having that is important, especially when you truly learn that one of you winning is all of you winning.
Yep.
Like,
Yes.
this is not a solo project in that sense.
Yeah.
A solo project, you fail alone and you win alone. That's only your fault.
Yes.
In a band, if you guys aren't working together, that's the only thing that's not your fault. You know, having that cohesiveness is important to making it legit and succeed, but also making you guys not fucking hate each other when you're on stage. You want to be able to smile and mean it and enjoy that and live in a bus together with enjoying each other's flaws and all these different things that kind of turn into the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely important.
100%.
So what was kind of the impetus to all of you wanting to do the band thing? What was like, you were doing a solo project.
Yeah.
Was there kind of a turning point where you're like, I need to have other people who are just as in this as I am?
Yeah, honestly, I was in a band in high school, and I just really liked the collaboration part of it. And a lot of the songs I was writing, I was doing this like acoustic rock thing, I called it. So I'd have this like hollow body electric, and I'd try to be as like one man band as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And people would just come up to me after my shows and be like, oh, like that one song you played, like I can just envision this whole thing. And so it was being told to me, and it just ended up being a feeling of like, I just don't want to do this on my own, because the way I hear the songs that I write in my head are so much bigger than I can really make them. And I only play guitar so well. And like, I would love to say I could play drums, but I can maybe play one beat and not all the way even a song through. I just really like to fuck around. So like and one of my favorite bands was No Doubt, and I love the fact that they all came from different backgrounds. Like the guitarist was a metal guitarist, and so they're not metal at all, but you kind of hear those elements. So I love the collaboration element of like everyone coming from a different style, but somehow it creates this whole new thing, and it's completely custom.
Do you feel like you're a better songwriter now that you're with the two of them?
100%. And mostly I would say because I went through like a lull of feeling like super inadequate, and like I think I needed to go through like this like writer's block, I guess, so to speak, when I don't know that I necessarily believe in writer's block. I think it was more of like a confidence thing. And I think had I not gone through that in my own head, like that was a whole learning experience big enough to be like, no, like this is a collaboration. Like we all are here, exactly like you said, like when one of us succeeds, like all of us succeed, and like, you know, we're all in it together. So I think hands down, even just to like spitball ideas off of them. Like before, like when we first got together, I was like, oh, this is my thing. So like, I'm going to bring the lyrics. That's my job as like the singer. I'm the lyricist. And so I have to bring a completed song. When now it's like, that's not why I like reached out and started this. Like I started this for the opposite, for it to be collaborative. And so I think just knowing how their brains work a little bit more has kind of seeped into the way I work, and it just became kind of a new beast.
And I feel like the hardest thing for a solo artist is self-doubt, because you can sit and think about your mix for 10 days by yourself, but when you have two people there next to you being like, yo, it's good.
Yeah.
Chill the fuck out.
Right.
Or
Hey,
not,
don't be looking
not
at
ready
me,
yet.
dog.
Or whatever it is.
I feel
It's
personally attacked.
the best.
I hope you feel that.
Are you the critical mix guy?
I mix our stuff, and
Oh, that'll do it.
you
Yeah.
know, I don't think it's ever done. And then they have to be like, Josh, we're gonna come to your house and murder you. Stop touching the song.
You're done.
It's been done like 6 versions ago. We don't even know what you're changing. Relax. No one else is gonna hear that
So
stuff.
then on the
Yeah.
other side of it, as an engineer, that side of it I get. I'm a producer, I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
Engineer. I'm a producer. The worst thing in the world is sitting there listening to my mix 30 times and changing almost nothing on the EQ and being like, I fucked it up.
Yeah.
And then having somebody come and be like, dude, it sounds no different.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
And that feeling sometimes is necessary, or the song's never going to be done.
Yeah.
And that's just a producer engineer thing too.
I totally get it.
So
100%.
how are you guys producing your music? Do you have external people come in, or are you guys doing it?
Yeah, like we usually will like produce demos and stuff in house, for the most part. But then we've been blessed this year to work with a pretty cool producer that we got linked up with to do this EP, and so yeah, a lot of him I guess.
Yeah.
But like mainly the four of us, I guess.
Yeah.
Just the four of us.
Yeah, I was saying this the other day. We're kind of like serial relationships. Like, well, we worked with one producer for 4 songs. We're working with this producer now, and so, yeah, I think we're kind of figuring stuff out. But we always start a song and get it to a certain point, and then we're always like, all right, like we want somebody to really like blast this thing off in outer fucking space.
Well, it's that same thing. It's just adding that extra set of ears and that extra mind, and another yes man who's also willing to tell you that's not it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason that some of the biggest songs in history have 40 fucking people on it. I don't think you need that many people.
Yeah.
But having a bunch of ears and a bunch of experiences that kind of culminate into one piece of art it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's still your guys. It's y'all's.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't know what the right way to put that.
And I feel like it's also like nice, just like because we get used to like knowing how each other tick, and it's like it's nice having someone like a third party like on the outside just look and be like, hey, I see the idea, I know how to make it even better.
Yeah.
Like
Shake it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
I know how to
Yeah.
just like accelerate it.
And just like little flavors that other people bring to the table too, you know, like how I hear a guitar part or like my go-to way of like creating generally kind of follows, you know, based on my influences and stuff. And then somebody else can be like, what if you start that riff on the third note instead and then flip the whole thing upside down, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this is something totally different. And then like that freshness is like inspiring, and then all of a sudden you're like, same song, totally different direction.
Yeah.
So much cooler.
And I think it's kind of like having like a coach. Like it's almost like having, because every time we like go and work with someone, even like photographers, like anyone will be like, hey, we want you to yell at us and tell us if we're like doing something stupid, if we look weird. I was like, I want you to push us. Like, don't feel bad. And like for me too, like I've had many like drum days where like the producer or like these guys, I'll be like, just yell at me and like tell me to like do something better, like tell me I suck, like
Keep
just
going.
just like push me, because like I want to like push it to the point where it's like afterwards you look back and you're like, oh, something cool came out of it.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes being so comfortable with yourself means that it's hard to have that little voice being like, yo, I know you think you're good at this.
Yeah.
You can be better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that belief in ourselves sometimes only is seen in retrospect, but somebody else can see it right away and be like, yo, you're having a shitty day. I've seen you have an amazing day. Click into whatever that is. Like, you got this. I
Like,
believe
keep going,
in you.
like more.
Or the opposite, or be like, hey, I know you want this so bad, but today's been a rough day for you. Step back for a second.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
somebody, the family aspect of it.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like now being in a band, there's kind of this shared sense of responsibility for each other outside of the music aspect? Like I feel like I've never really been in a band, and I'm always curious about how it works outside of music. I have friends that are in bands that all they do is everything together. Do you guys feel like that's kind of the way you guys work? Are you guys always going to the party together and all that? Or do you have these very separate lives outside of it?
Kind of 50-50 in a
Yeah, I would
way.
say like yes and no.
It's a good split, I think.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a healthy split.
Yeah, we all have like the shit that we do, the circles that we roll in most of the time. But then like if there's ever like anything in like life that happens, like we're always like right
always,
there
like,
for each other and shit.
Yeah.
So
The lines definitely like blur, you know, like, oh, we have our own things, but they sometimes always like, it's like a Venn diagram, you know, and there's little parts
I love it.
that bleed together.
Because it's 3 circles. You
Yeah.
can't really do that.
Yeah.
So you guys have the EP, and then tell me about this tour.
Oh, it's my first tour. These guys have both toured before, so I'm really excited. I have no idea what to expect, but I kind of am embracing that. So yeah, just listening to what these guys have experienced before, trying to learn as much as I can beforehand. But we're so excited. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pumped.
I'm just pumped to be like living it every day and getting to share it with people outside of LA. Like we've done a couple shows not in California, and so to be able to, I mean, we're going to like Montreal. I don't know why, but I've been obsessed with Montreal for
22
years,
cities,
and I've
5
never
weeks.
been. Yeah, so I'm just so excited just to like experience everything. Yeah.
So is this a headline tour? Is this a supporting tour?
We're supporting Carly Hansen. She happens to be from Wisconsin as
You're
well.
supporting Carly?
Yeah.
Carly's like one of my close friends.
No way.
I was literally, when you said you were from Wisconsin, I was about to ask if you knew Carly.
Oh my God.
That's so crazy.
Wild. Yeah, she has her song 608 is the same area code as my cabin. So like she's
so
from like
crazy.
30 minutes away from where I spent like half my childhood.
So do you know Sam as well, her girlfriend?
I don't know. I've never met. I've never.
so
yeah,
rad.
but
Wait,
I'm
that's
pumped.
such a small world. I just
Yeah.
had 2 episodes ago Tosh the drummer on. who
Oh,
was
nice.
Yeah,
her drummer.
Tosh. Yeah,
Tosh is a friend.
he's a beast.
Now he's an animal.
yeah,
Animal.
Animal.
And him and his dad came in, and his dad's like this
Oh, yeah.
badass
Oh,
hippie.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
They're crazy, but like
He's so nice.
I got a very similar feeling on talent, the way Jack talked about you. It was just like fun to watch, but like that good.
Oh, thanks.
So-
Appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Tosh and
Tosh
I, we did a tour together, and it was fun. We had fun every night.
That's so sick.
Yeah,
With who?
With Jaden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was playing with Jaden, and like every night we would like always like I'd run up on stage behind his kit and like sneak him like a shot or something. And, like, yeah, or like I would
love
go
that.
and like hit his drum. Like we just always mess with each other. Or I would
What a
like
small
I would run
world.
to the front of the house and like talk in his in ear.
Do you guys know the Beauty School Dropout guys?
We haven't met them.
No of them, but haven't
Yeah.
met them.
but
yet.
like small, same circle
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is you guys are like, you have a little bit more of the poppy side of it, but not in like, I don't even know how to explain why the pop side is there, but it is there.
yeah,
Intentionally.
It's really nice because I think what you guys do is you bridge this gap between, you have the punky, garagey sort of feel to it that is like fun and makes you want to mosh, but you also have this bridge that can get the regular person who doesn't understand that world and still let them feel comfortable in your music.
That's
I love
awesome.
that, yeah.
I love that.
we're like, come over here, it's safe. Come on.
We've
And then they
been,
come over and they start
Don't
moshing.
worry.
Don't worry.
Self-
the water's
self-diagnosed
fine.
self-diagnosed punk curious trio.
Yeah, we're punk
We
curious.
say we're punk curious.
Punk
It's our
curious
new
pop
genre
rock
we're
band.
started.
Fucking love
Yeah, 'cause
that.
we were like, we're a punk band. We're like,
That's what I'm naming.
I don't want to
this
like
episode.
claim it 100%.
I
So
don't know if that's true, but
punk curious, very punk
That's
curious.
phenomenal.
I know we like listen to all this like crazy stuff, but
Yeah.
then we're like, all right, we don't sound like that. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Where are the inspirations from? Like, I know it's like the worst
All
question
over.
to ask, but who's the inspiration?
I mean, for me, it's definitely like no doubt Fleetwood Mac, huge inspiration. I mean, Paramore, is really high up there. Yeah, a lot of like Nirvana is a huge one. Like Dave Grohl, I'm obsessed with. So yeah, those are kind of my mains.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Paramore definitely, but I grew up listening to like Motley Crue, like Disturbed, Limp Bizkit.
Such a big Disturbed fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude,
His voice
I
is
went.
nuts,
I
dude.
went when I went to a Disturbed show by myself. 'Cause
Yeah, you did.
I went,
How old were you?
like 7. No, not 17, 18. I definitely was like probably like 20. I think it was like it was
It's disturbing.
Yeah, it was. I was like,
Hey, I see what you
I
did
was
there.
like, I just moved to this new city and I saw they were playing and I was like, I really want to go. So like I bought these tickets off of, I think it was like StubHub or something, but the person would only sell, they were resell, and they would only sell them to me both pairs. I was like, I only need one. And they're like, well, I'm only selling like 2. So I bought 2.
They're
And
selling
then-
them like
Love
fucking
that.
earrings.
so then I put the other one up. This is all on the same day of the show. I put the other one up, and then like this random girl hit me up, and she was like, "I want to go to the show," and I was like, "Alone?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm going alone." So I was like, "Hey, I don't know if this is weird, but do you want to go together?" And she's
Smooth.
never met this person in my life, and we went to the show together, and it was just like cool, and then it was just like, "See you later." Like, but it was a Disturbed concert. I was just
So
like,
funny.
That's the best, though. I think that might be one of my favorite things to do in the music world is to go to a show just because you need to see that show.
Yeah.
Go alone and just have whatever experience kind of fucking happens.
Dude, it was rad. They were like getting so crazy in the pit that like David was like he like stopped the show and kicked a guy out because he like
Oh,
raised his
shit.
fist at someone. Like it was nuts. I was like, I'm up here, I'm not down there.
That's so
But-
sick.
But yeah, them I love. My favorite is Evanescence. Like I'm like big fan. Big
He
big
watches
fan.
all
Anybody?
their shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Get in there.
Oh, yeah.
Get in there.
I'm a big fan of Evanescence. I don't know what it is, but
It's Will Hunt.
I don't know what it isn't.
Well,
I know
for
what
sure.
it isn't. It's so funny. We did. My friends and I were gonna do. There's like this like trend on TikTok where people were doing like a PowerPoint party, where like all your friends get together and all your friends who are there, they get like 3 to 5 minutes to make a PowerPoint of anything they wanted. And I told my friends, like, I told all my friends, I said, I'm going to make a PowerPoint on why Evanescence is the greatest band in the entire world. And they all were like, Nick, like, But
Yeah.
Turned out to be the best PowerPoint.
I haven't presented it yet. I'm still perfecting it.
Oh, it's still going?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you said 3 minutes.
Listen, it's going to be
There's
perfect.
a lot to put
There's
in.
a
Sounds
lot,
like a
there's
3 month
there's a lot to
PowerPoint.
cram in 3
As a
minutes.
mixed engineer.
Let me know. I want to be at this party. I'm so curious.
I will invite you. I'm not kidding.
We can have it here.
Yes.
We'll do it live on the
Throw it out.
podcast.
I'll tell them. I'll tell them all.
PowerPoint podcast.
the
PowerPoint
crew,
podcast.
the
I
crew
missed the
will
mic.
The
assemble.
guests' senses.
But yeah, those are my influences. I don't know. I listen to everything.
Yeah.
I feel that. I grew up on like Blink 182, like Dookie era, Green Day, like
Classics.
Acceptance, Jack's Mannequin. I go over to like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Like
How could you not?
I'm all over the place. You know, I'm like in love with vocal harmonies and just like layers and stacks of vocals, like the whole
But like
thing.
Boys
So,
to Men.
absolutely Boys to Men. Yep,
They came up recently.
absolutely,
Big fan.
so cool.
They're the best. That's such an interest. I mean, that makes sense though. I mean, you got Disturbed,
Yeah.
but you also got In Sync. You got all these like wide varieties and having like the vocal harmonies, but still having that fucking downbeat that keeps you going.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, just like the big old kick drums and the fat snares, like just those. I'm just like, like
But then also having the hooky vocals and I
Yes.
mean that's Punk Curious.
That is very punk curious.
We are
right
curious.
Oh, and lest we not forget Avril Lavigne.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
of course.
That
Yeah.
let
She's dating the
go.
boy. Or is she married to Mod Sun now?
I think
Are
I
they
don't
married
know.
yet? I
So
don't know.
Engaged, maybe.
They're definitely a
engaged,
thing.
for sure.
I read that
definitely a
somewhere.
thing.
It's definitely a thing.
The word on the street is.
It's in all the magazines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When's the last time you bought a magazine?
I think Avril Lavigne was in it.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Or a
What,
CD.
what were those called? Like Teen Vogues that had the posters in them? Is that
Oh,
what
it's
they
been
were?
a minute.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
I
yeah.
used to. I used to get down on those posters and put them all over my room.
Yep, same.
I feel like magazine, like I probably bought like a digital magazine, like one like on the computer or something.
I remember when they had those.
Probably the last
that was
one,
a thing for a
technically.
little bit.
Yeah,
It was when it was still Macintosh.
yeah. The last one.
God, I don't know the last time I bought a magazine, but I don't know the next time I'm going to either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
So,
Big facts.
well, I'm really excited to see more live shows. To hopefully, once we turn this off, hear some new music.
Woo!
Oh, we got you.
Where are you guys all most excited to play on this tour?
Honestly, Canada, Montreal. I'm so pumped. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
that'd be
I'm
cool.
so pumped.
Because it's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited to play like the shows like in like the Midwest.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the ones that are kind of like in those states, I feel like in the bigger cities like LA and New York, there's like other things going on. Like you're an option
true.
versus like those shows, it's like you're the thing in town.
Yeah.
Versus being in Royal Oak, Michigan.
Yeah. Like you're
Shout
the
out Royal Oak.
Not Royal. Like you're the thing in town. So people are like, "Oh my gosh, I'm there." And it's like
Yeah.
people are like they want that. Like they have like energy for it. So
God, I'm so excited to hear how this goes. Let's do another one after.
Yeah.
let's do it.
That'd be
I want
cool.
to hear about it,
Yeah.
and we can get high even earlier next time.
Yeah.
By then, maybe some new songs might be out by
Yeah,
then. Who
shit.
knows?
And
Oh,
we're
yeah.
about to start. I used to do it, but we're about to start doing live performances.
Cool.
No way.
With every
That's what's up.
podcast, like whether it's I mean, we got whatever we need to make it happen.
Yeah.
Looks
So
like you got,
awesome.
got a
next
few
time,
things
let's do
here.
that
Yeah.
too if you guys are
Yeah,
down.
for sure.
Well, hell yeah! I still can't believe you guys are going on tour with Carly. What a fucking small
Yeah.
world.
Small
Yeah, we're
world.
pumped.
So
It's gonna be a
excited.
blast.
You guys playing here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we end
Uh,
the tour here.
April 3rd.
Okay, I'll
At
be
the
there.
Echo.
The Echo.
Oh hell yeah!
Yep.
Yeah,
Alright, I'll
yeah.
be
I've,
there.
That'll
I've
be
always
sick.
wanted to play the Echo because
Yeah,
like
same.
I used to go to like emo night all the time. Now.
Absolutely.
So many
100%.
emo nights.
God, I need to go to an emo night. I haven't been to one, but I've been obsessed with them.
Yeah.
They,
Like
they're
weird
now
culture.
they're now at the Avalon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we played one in September.
Oh yeah,
You guys played
Yeah, it was
Pokemon?
so fun. It was literally like 100 degrees. It was that crazy
Oh,
week where it was like
so hot.
insanely
in
hot.
September.
That's so
And
sick.
the Avalon's outdoor technically, so
Yeah.
there's no like airflow, but it's all, oh my God, I've never been
Oh, yeah,
so
they
hot
ha-
on stage. We were like dripping after that
Yeah,
show, but
they
it was
have-
so fun.
That's as emo as it gets.
They have like
Yeah.
in the Avalon, they have like the DJ set and everything like
Yeah.
that, and all the surprise guests. But then they have up in Bardo,
Yeah.
they have like all the bands play.
Yeah.
So it was just like hotter
That's
than
so
hell. Like,
sick.
It was,
but
so fun though.
Yeah, such a
Well,
vibe.
hopefully I'm at the next demo night that you guys are playing.
Hopefully,
Yes.
I'm like hopefully the next year when we're on the big stage,
Right?
Yeah, that'd be sick.
with air conditioning.
Well, I'm so
If you're hearing
excited for
this.
you guys to have this tour and to put out some more music. I'm a big fan.
Thank
Even
you
bigger
so
fan
much.
Thanks
now.
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Oh,
Seriously.
anytime.
Yeah.
You guys have an open invite. And shout out to the manager who got you guys on here. He's
Yes.
the man as well. So it's
The
good
man.
That's our boy.
to
Steven.
have you guys all on here. And
Hardest working guy in the game.
Yeah.
Amen. And yeah, fuck yeah. Everybody go look up Senses, listen to all their music. When you're done, listen to them again and send them to your parents. Promise they'll love it too. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
And fuck yeah. And thank you everybody out there and to everybody listening.
We are Senses, and this is an experiment.
That was way too on sync. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody. And we're out.
Thank you.